Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
I just hit him with the stick.
Joining me in studio now is Anthony Gucciardi. Anthony, I wanted to get you in studio today to talk about this article that's up on the Drudge Report. Video, McDonald's chicken supplier caught stabbing chickens with spikes. This really doesn't surprise me, but it's absolutely disgusting.
It doesn't surprise me either, and it is disturbing. It is disgusting. It looks to be in the video that those people are completely mentally ill. If it is actually true, it looks to be true. Fox says it's true. Other news groups say it's true. It shows factory farm workers that supply McDonald's and Tyson, which is a major chicken supplier. Their McNuggets and everything like that. They're taking these spikes and just smashing the chickens. They're stepping on their heads to break their neck, stomping on them with their boots, and just abusing them for no reason. I mean, they're going to die anyway. Why do you have to do this?
Right.
It just goes to show, I think it was actually me and you too, we spoke about it maybe 1 or 2 years ago, McDonald's downward spiral. CNN asks, right, is McDonald's over? Business Insider says McDonald's is losing America. McDonald's is on a massive landslide down to bankruptcy. And I believe within the next 5 years, they probably will face bankruptcy if they don't change their act. People are fed up with their BS. They're fed up with their crap. They're not loving it anymore. They're tired of it. I'm not loving it. And this is just another staple in their demise because McDonald's refuses to use high quality food. They refuse to get rid of the toxic compounds in their food. They refuse to get rid of the chickens that sit in their feces all day and are given just enough antibiotics not to die before the chronic illness gets to them. Because you have to think about this. You've seen the insider videos in the factory farms. And by the way, I'm a meat eater myself. I will eat super high quality organic chicken, or, you know, I'll eat something in a restaurant that's decent, but I'm not going to go out and eat McDonald's chicken that sits in its own feces to the point where generations of these chickens in some of these factory farms are sitting in their own feces like their grandfather's feces and developing these disgusting infections. They just pump them up full of antibiotics and steroids and just hope they don't die.
Right. And this kind of condition is not new. I mean, one of the reasons why I actually became a vegetarian years ago was because I was a teenager and I watched this movie, Faces of Death. And like one of the scenes in Faces of Death was there on like a factory farm or whatever. And it was just so horrendous the way that they, you know, cut the beaks off the chickens and hang them upside down in scalding water to make all the feathers come off, or, you know, pluck the feathers off them while they're still alive. So these are the kind of things that are happening in a lot of these factories. It just so happens that we have animal rights activists getting these things on tape now, which is one of the reasons why they're obviously so afraid of drones and things like that, exposing these horrendous activities that are going on. But now McDonald's and Tyson's Foods, they say they've dropped this farm. They're not going to use this particular supplier because they're bad after this video. But I mean, this is kind of an industry-wide thing. And, you know, I think people are really wising up because they are getting more ethical about what they're putting in their bodies. And the way the animals are treated, led to slaughter, is also a part of that.
You know, and first and foremost, I think it is a victory they're dropping this branch of the factory farm because it shows, even though a lot of them are bad, yes, it shows the power of activism. Because somebody took that undercover video of this torture of the animals and put it live, and we made it a big deal. We even tweeted at Tyson. Alex tweeted Tyson. I've tweeted Tyson. They responded and said, hey, we actually dropped this company, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, there's still stuff going on. But it shows the tangible evidence and demonstrable evidence of activism at its core. And then also, we all remember the drone videos or whatever it was with the pig feces lake and stuff like that. So it's going on big time. And we can vote with our dollars because, like I said, I'm not against eating meat, right? I think I'm obviously supportive of vegetarians and stuff like that, but it's just like produce.
There's a humane way to do it, to where you know you're putting in your body something that's...
Yeah, I would equate it to corn, though, because you can have an ear of corn that's super high quality, organic, and great, but at the same time, you can have corn that's sprayed with herbicides, pesticides, genetically modified, completely destroyed, just in the same way you can have an animal that is somewhat humanely killed, you know, for food, versus something that is someone that's breaking its neck and stabbing it with spikes and releasing adrenaline and stress compounds in its body before it's killed and destroying itself with compounds in pharmaceuticals they're injecting it over and over with again. There's just so much it
the
rattles my brain.
Toxins that isn't good for our bodies as well. And now there's been some other videos that have come out. Foster farms, they were also caught in an alleged undercover video as well, sort of the same type of thing with this animal abuse going on. And that's the thing, it's like, why is this bad, but then, hanging them upside down in scalding hot water alive, why isn't that abuse? Because that's, pretty industry standard. Anyhow, so now Foster Farms is coming out saying that the video was clearly shot with an agenda in mind because it was these animal rights groups and it was heavily edited. Sounds a lot like these Planned Parenthood videos, how their Planned Parenthood is coming out and saying they were heavily edited and altered in it. Now, I'm sorry, if you're saying that at least one time within a 2-hour-long conversation, you still said it. Just like with these videos, if someone is beating a chicken's head with a hammer and spikes and stepping on its neck, it happened. You can't edit that unless you have like a green screen and you're creating it in a movie studio.
And I'm not against the idea that some of them are edited and some of them are on an extreme agenda to attack different corporations. I'm not against that idea. There are certainly tons of video. The ability to edit video these days and make things sound bad is just so extreme. It's so extreme. But the overlying issue is that it is happening. It doesn't matter if some of these videos are edited or not, or what the agenda is, and oftentimes, it's happening, period. And that's the big issue, and that's why people are defunding McDonald's, defunding Monsanto, which lost $128 million in Q4 of 2014. All these companies are losing money fast, and I believe if they don't clean up their act, they're going to go bankrupt at some point, because we are entering a new food paradigm where groups like Whole Foods are booming, and groups like Monsanto are failing, and McDonald's.
Right. Well, what do you think about some of the other companies that are just waiting in line? They're kind of allowing Monsanto to take the fall, but Dow Syngenta has now propped up. The FDA just approved their own line of GMO foods as well as a pesticide, an herbicide to take care of those GMO foods.
Well, Syngenta is interesting because Monsanto has just been dying to purchase Syngenta. I think that's because Syngenta is the new advanced line of GMOs in the sense that Syngenta goes further than Monsanto. They're looking into biopharmaceutical crops where you could grow pharmaceuticals through genetically modified crops. They're looking into altered animals, genetically modified animals, stuff like that. Syngenta is actually, I don't know if I'd say worse than Monsanto, but they're more extreme in the field than Monsanto. And I think Monsanto is understanding that it needs to diversify its brand because at the consumer level, it's losing. People know not to buy GMO crops at the store. That's why organic is such a big deal now that we're importing organic crops from India and Romania and stuff like that, the soybeans from India, the corn from Romania. So they know at the consumer level, they're losing. But if they have something like Syngenta, where Merck is not going to really care if you grow biopharmaceutical crops from a GMO plantation versus the consumer is not going to buy GMO crops at the grocery store. So I think they want to go business to business more so than supplying something to a business that goes to the consumer.
Right. Well, and obviously they are really pushing like these vaccinated bananas and things like that because they travel
That's good
really
for you,
easily.
Leanne.
And yeah,
You're a bad person if you don't want all that.
I love bananas, so why not? Just it's kind of like one-stop shopping there. So we got about a minute left. Closing words on this. What does this say about, activism or just the future of food, really? Are we going to win or?
We are going to win. If there's one thing we're going to win, it's reclaiming the food supply and transforming our health because we can do that independently. No one's going to stop us from going to the grocery store and voting with our dollar. No one's going to stop this tangible evidence. No one's going to stop us from defunding McDonald's, Monsanto, McSanto, so on and so forth. And these alleged videos just further prove that they are on a downward spiral. And it's our time now to reclaim the food supply, transform our health, and ultimately decide what we want to do with our lives.
Right. And there is transparency there, and I think that they're realizing that. They can't hide behind their corporate doors anymore.
I agree.
But how can people actually beat these huge corporations?
I think it's twofold. First, at an individual level, we can independently go out and vote with our dollar. We can defund Monsanto, defund McDonald's by purchasing super high quality organic food, which is the most effective way, and then we can defeat them, so on and so forth through that. But secondarily, in a larger scale, we have things like March Against Monsanto, the Food Justice March coming in October, sponsored by March Against Monsanto. All these things are drastically increasing consumer awareness. People like never before are now knowing what GMOs are. Even Gwyneth Paltrow speaking about GMOs I mean, CNN covered that, right? So all these things, activism, multiplied in small acts by millions of people can truly change the world. So at the grocery store, you're making a difference with your purchase and also spreading the word, sharing the word, supporting those that do. I think we're achieving a major victory.
The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory offer. Visit ancientdefense.com or call 888-253-3139. ancientdefense.com.